So now that the princesses are technically free to leave, but since the darkness is so strong, they're staying to keep it back. And that includes Belle.
Oh, the darkness.
I do like that the princesses are actually there for a reason, aside.
Yes.
Like, they're there to keep the darkness back. There's actually a reason they haven't left yet. But now that Kyrie is free, the keyhole is complete.
Oh no. I was thinking, it's Kingdom Hearts 2 where Ansem goes, Kingdom Hearts! No, that was the one. That's the end of this game, right?
That's this game, dude.
Yeah.
That's this game.
I'm looking forward to that part. That's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah. That... Oh, I love the speech, like, at the start of that series of boss fights.
Yeah.
That is a legendary speech.
Yeah.
You know the speech I'm talking about. It's so good.
Yeah.
You know, usually when I do things like this, I end up hating the game more. But I actually enjoy the game more after talking about it.
It's because it's a good game.
In doing this series. This is a really good fucking game, man.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is that, like, people hear the game, the Kingdom Hearts series is confusing. What they don't know is that it was the other games that caused that, not this one. It's just a Disney story. And it works because of that. Again, also notice the party members are almost completely dead.
Even Beast, who has, like, stupid amounts of health.
Yeah.
Now let's go and seal that big keyhole.
Sora, you did it.
But before we seal that, we have to do some talking first. You know, instead of sealing it first and then talking about it. So they're here because this is their home.
Yep.
This is where they grew up, so this is where they belong.
We told you we didn't grow up in whatever universes we grew up in Final Fantasy in. Don't worry about it. I'm not at all for
Honestly, I'm glad they didn't bother with that shit.
to try to, like, combine the universes and just create a whole web of mess.
Yeah, I'm glad they just decided to put them all in Hollow Bastion. It makes more... It's much easier to make that logical.
Yeah.
To make that make sense.
Yeah.
This is the part where they reveal that the impassable walls that separated the worlds before will return once the light comes back. Once Ansem is defeated.
I'm like, no, man, it won't work.
Yeah, that's explaining that those walls are why people didn't know about other worlds. It's basically explaining why at the beginning of the game no one knew about all the other worlds out there.
Yeah.
We may never meet again, but we'll never forget each other.
No matter where we are, our hearts will bring us together again.
There are a lot of good lines at the end of this game, aren't there?
You, even if I wanted to.
Yeah. The relationships were
A lot
built.
of good one-liners.
Hurry, come and close the keyhole.
Because we were just there and we didn't do it for some reason.
Yeah, really. Alright, let's do
You
it.
still gotta beat Ansem once the keyhole is closed anyway, so, like, it's not like you can't say goodbye after closing the keyhole.
Don't worry about it. Alright, roll credits.
So before you go in... Yeah. So, before you do this, you can get a Keyblade in that room with the Riku boss fight called Oblivion.
Uh-huh.
And in lore, like, according to Nomura, the Oathkeeper Keyblade represents Sora's relationship with Kairi. That he has a promise to protect her, so he'll always be there for her. But the Oblivion Keyblade represents his relationship with Riku. as the rival character.
That's pretty good. I like that a lot, actually.
So yeah, that's symbolism that they don't bother trying to explain, but you just instinctively know and works.
Yeah, I also like the idea.
Because they don't have to explain. They don't have to explain it, and I don't want them to explain it.
I also like the idea of a keyblade called Oathkeeper, which is pretty good and indicative of that, and also one called Oblivion. Like, that's a powerful word to use to talk about someone's relationship.
The social link is not doing that well right now.
I can only walk Riku halfway home.
Yeah.
Later on, we're gonna hang out in my room and he's gonna blush.
So now that we've taken care of that, this is the end of the world. That's what this world is called. And this world is the accumulation of all of the worlds taken by the Heartless.
Yeah, it is.
This is what's left of the worlds taken by the Heartless.
It is vast and empty.
It is vast, empty, and void. It's vast, empty, void.
But if we do beat him, and all these worlds become restored and disconnected, what's gonna happen to this place? And to us?
Good question.
This is a heartless world, so maybe it'll just disappear. But no worries. Even if this place goes poof, our hearts ain't going nowhere. I'm sure we'll find.
You sure about that?
Again. Yep. I'm just
You don't sound 100% confident.
You need hope.
You're right.
Hope, Sam. Hope.
Because I gotta keep an oath.
I'll return this. I promise.
I love this music.
Oh, it's so good.
This is very fitting music for where we are.
And it played at the very beginning too, which is pretty good. During tutorial stuff.
Yeah, it's bookend. It's a bookend. It's a really nice touch.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, they missed a segment that I find somewhat important, but I understand why they skipped it, where you are using the Heartless's gateways through darkness to revisit the worlds one by one, and get special accessories from each one in this segment. And we missed that segment, unfortunately, and this is the finale where you go to the lab where Ansem experimented on creating the Heartless. That's where we are right now. Well, it's a really nice segment that explains how the Heartless travel from world to world without having to go into any real detail about it. You just see they have portals to each world, so of course they can travel between them.
Does Ansem explain or does anyone explain in later games why Ansem created the Heartless or experimented on them?
Yes.
Is that also in 2? I vaguely recall that.
Yeah, it's in Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep. A lot of Birth by Sleep.
A lot of Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, so like these are portals that the Heartless use to travel from world to world.
Just jump in giant holes and pop out the other side. Oh, that music though. It's pretty good.
Night on Bald Mountain, because Chernobog is the boss fight for this segment from Fantasia. He never shows up in any Kingdom Hearts game ever again. This is his one and only appearance.
It's because they kicked his ass so good.
To be fair, though, this is a pretty good place to have this kind of boss fight. And if you're doing like a Disney homage, this is probably a good way to get a good thing to do close to the end of it.
Get some Fantasia in there.
Yeah, get the bad guy from Fantasia, which is one of Disney's, most famous movies.
Yeah, for sure.
So like even though this doesn't really come up again, this is a very good thematic ending or near ending to the game. Bit of a bookend in a way. I don't know what I'm saying.
I just thought I'd let you go. I'm just watching the fight. Enjoying the
Yeah,
music.
also this is also a pretty good boss fight. The gimmick, obviously, is that he's much bigger than you, and you have flight. Again. They don't explain why you can fly again. You just can.
Yeah, it's like you can glide
But then again,
after Peter
I
Pan,
don't
but
really.
you can't fly.
That's one of those things where I don't want them to explain it.
Yeah, because then you get caught up
I
in
don't
a
really
bunch
need
of
them
bullshit.
to. Yeah.
Especially with later games.
It's just easier to say it happens. So there's also this segment where you're fighting a bunch of Heartless in this room, and each wave you beat destroys a bit of that emblem, and once it's all destroyed, you can go through the portal to the final boss fight. And this is again King Mickey speaking to us, like he was in the beginning of the game.
Gotta love games where it's like,
Telling you
here's
this
your
is the
last
point of
chance to
no return.
save.
Yeah. We're about to come to the speech. This is one of my favorite speeches in the entire game, next to the speech that Sora said to Riku in that first duel. It's a really powerful speech.
I love it. Just want to hear Billy Zane talk to me more.
I do.
I really do.
I want to hear Billy Zane talk dirty to me.
Billy Zane, speak softly into my ear. Please.
Speak sweet, sweet nothings quietly to my
I want Billy Zane to whisper sweet nothings into my ear. The voice. Oh, man.
So, of course, we have to end where we began. The
It's a bookending.
corrupted
thing you
husk
talked about.
of Destiny Island. There is no real better place to end this game than by the decaying, corrupted husk of Destiny Island. And again, in case you didn't connect the dots that Ansem was the guy in the beginning of the game, this is making it much more overt.
Soon to be completely eclipsed. There is so very much to learn.
And it's also good to remember this line because he does reference it after his speech.
Meaningless effort.
You have come this far, yet still you understand nothing.
Who knows nothing can understand.
Can understand nothing. I mean, that's pretty empirically true, I would say.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep quiet and let's just keep quiet and just let the speech unfold. It stands on its own. I don't need to explain it.
I'm just gonna turn up the volume and sit back in my chair.
Take a look at this tiny place. To the heart-seeking freedom, this island is a prison, surrounded by water. And so this boy sought out to escape from his prison. He sought a way to cross over into other worlds, and he opened his heart to darkness.
Riku!
Don't bother. Your voice can no longer reach him where he is. His heart belongs again to darkness. All worlds begin in darkness. And all so end. The heart is no different. Darkness sprouts within it. It grows, consumes it. Such is its nature. In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came. You see, darkness is the heart's true essence.
That's not true! The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
So you have come this far, and still you understand nothing. Every light must fade. Every heart return to darkness.
Okay.
Oh, that music cue is so good too.
I think it works because Billy Zane, he's like, it sounds like he's not trying to be menacing, he just is.
Yeah, I think it's great. He
He
sells
doesn't-
it because it's just that confidence in his
Yeah.
voice.
It's like when Aiden Pierce or Christian Bale as Batman are talking in that growl voice, they sound like they are trying to be a badass. They
Yeah.
aren't actually badasses, though. Billy Zane, when he talks in that voice, he gets the impression that he doesn't take any effort to be intimidating. He just is. That's just how he talks.
That's just my default state.
He talks intimidating like.
Oh, it's so good. And yeah, just like I said,
But
like you said,
yeah.
without the gravel, I just totally believe the confidence in his voice when he says it. Like, I believe that he believes it.
And that's also just a very powerful line in general. Like, telling about how Riku was so obsessed with getting off that island that it doomed him to become a servant of the darkness.
It's just it really just paints Riku as a tragic figure, like in a old Greek comedy style.
Yeah. Like, all he wanted to do is get off of this island because he felt constricted by it.
Yeah.
And I can't really blame him, because it's not a large world by any means.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that is probably one of the most powerful speeches in monologues in the game. Because of the person delivering it and the actual meaning behind the lines.
God, can you imagine like an Aiden Pierce style
There's
person
a
trying
lot-
to do that monologue though? Just
I want to look to this game as an example of how you can say a lot in very few words.
Something that the sequels
Like,
did the
with
opposite
that
of.
with that one speech, you know everything you could need to know about Ansem as a character and what he thinks about Riku. Everything you need to know is condensed into those few lines.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 did not learn that very well.
It absolutely did not. And Chain of Memories also had that problem in pretty much every game after this.
Just the whole series, really.
Yeah.
As soon as Warriors 13 got involved, everything went
Like,
to
this is
shit.
what I mean when I say that Kingdom Hearts told its story the best out of all the game, and it was the most, probably, I wouldn't say like maybe the most meaningful story in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, but definitely the one that sticks with you the best.
Yeah, for sure. Has some really powerful scenes in it.
Yeah. It's definitely more powerful. I remember more of the powerful scenes in this game than I do of any of the other games in the franchise.
Well, the problem is I couldn't explain any of the cutscenes to you into, like,
Yeah.
I literally can't
Like,
follow the plot.
And you compare that to this, you don't need to explain that speech. That speech explains itself.
I don't need to write up a thing on GameFAQs about what it means.
I don't need to tell you what this speech means. I can just show you and you know. That's really good writing.
Within it lies the heart of all worlds.
And I know it seems like I'm making a bigger deal out of this than I probably should, and you're right, I am. But that's a very important thing to have in a story, is the ability to tell a ton of information with as few lines as possible. And that's not just games, any story. I just love the casual menace of Billy Zane.
Billy Zane, why won't you do more video game voices?
Because he was blacklisted.
Was he? Damn.
Yep.
Did they ever explain why?
I forget why.
I'll look it up.
I forget why. There was a reason, I don't remember it. It's a shame, because Richard Epcar, he tried so hard, you just can't live up to that. Like, anyone trying to do that role after Billy Zane was destined to not do as well. So, I applaud Richard Epcar for trying, but he just couldn't. This is also a really good series of boss fights. From here on, it is basically a boss fight marathon.
Apparently, what happened, I just had to confirm this. This is not 100% confirmed, but what someone said. He wasn't blacklisted. He played a soldier in some movie that put America in a bad light, so major companies didn't want to use him for a while, which is blacklisted.
That's called blacklisting.
Yeah, someone pointed out later. That's
Yeah.
like that's what blacklisting is.
Yeah.
So he just portrayed an anti-American
So
American.
so the creator of this video didn't include this, but there are a lot of really good, like, it's a really good scene where Donald and Goofy get disappeared at the beginning of this fight, and every time you beat a part of this ship, a portal opens that lets you rescue one of them.
That's cool.
They didn't show those scenes, but I think that's also a way this game kind of tells of Sora's relationship with these guys without actually having to tell you, oh yeah, these guys are friends.
Yeah.
They're like, he will detour to go into a portal to rescue his friends before taking on the big bad.
Yeah, this design might have gotten a little bit out of hand at some point.
You mean for the series as a whole, or for this boss?
I see this boss, like, and some, like, he looks fine, and then when you get to this, it's like Tetsuya Nomura got all his Tetsuya Nomura all over him.
Yeah. It's basically a ship of darkness.
Just a little bit much. Probably explains, like, why later on, at least from my memory, they stuck to just regular-looking dudes.
Yeah. Well, no, Kingdom Hearts 2's designs were also really ridiculous
I don't remember
for
it
its
that well.
final boss.
Yeah, the final boss I vaguely recall.
Yeah, you don't remember it. You don't remember it because it wasn't very memorable compared to this one.
I remember
This is a boss. I remember all these boss fights. They were really, really, like, impactful. So this is the biggest twist of the game. The one that is also pretty famous by now.
Cannot seal the door to darkness.
You even mentioned it in passing earlier.
Dumb hearts. I do that pose every time I say that too.
You have to. It's part of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's the shtick, man. You gotta pose. You gotta you gotta grasp
It's
it.
Billy Zane. It's Billy Zane's hammy voice acting combined with the over-the-top animation and just the way this scene is shot.
Yeah.
It all works.
Light.
Kingdom Hearts is light.
Yeah, I love it.
And you can even hear it in the voice acting where his voice stops being Billy Zane and starts being Riku again.
Oh yeah, you totally can.
For a second,
Yeah.
you can tell that Riku's starting to get his grip from his body back.
Come on!
Did they explain in this game what Kingdom Hearts
That was
itself
a really nice
actually
touch.
is?
Kingdom Hearts is the heart of all worlds.
Okay.
It is basically the world's core. If Kingdom Hearts were to ever be consumed by darkness, then all worlds would be in turn.
And the idea is that Ansem thought that because he thought that everything came from dark, therefore Kingdom Hearts is darkness, and Sora's thing come from light.
Yes.
So therefore Kingdom Hearts is light.
Yes, that is basically the end game reveal, is that Ansem thought that darkness was the source of all power, and therefore Kingdom Hearts would be pure darkness.
Mm-hmm.
But Sora realized that after all of his travels, that Kingdom Hearts is light. And that light is the source of all that is good in the world.
Can't wait till we get to Kingdom Hearts 2 and talk about that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait for it.
Oh, man.
Who is that?
The one and only time they use Mickey, because that's the one time they were allowed to use Mickey.
They got him at the very end. I wonder, like, how they struck that deal of, like, you can use him at the end, or, like, maybe they had to see the game first up to this point.
You can trust
Yes.
King Mickey.
Now, they're coming.
Oh, they actually used Mickey's name.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
I don't remember
Yeah, I
that.
don't remember that either. I also could have sworn he was, like, cloaked in, like, the Origins 13 cloak,
Yeah.
but...
So,
That's not
as
touching.
recompense for his sins, Riku is now trapped behind the door to darkness.
But he comes out in 2 for...
He comes out in Chain of Memories.
Oh, I didn't play Chain of Memories. That's gonna be fun.
Chain of Memories has 2 halves, one where you play as Sora, one where you play as Riku.
Ah, okay. Also, you think that, so Donald and Goofy would be bummed that their king is on the other side of Kingdom Hearts. Like...
They are. At the end of this game, they actually are bummed about it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like at the final cutscene.
Yeah. Also, we're still in this
now
fucking
that,
darkness world.
Now that Ansem has been defeated, the worlds are going to start going back to the way they were.
But what about Riku?
He learned his lesson. He'll be fine.
He decided to legally change his name from Uchiha.
See, he's already better than Sasuke. Already. This they actually added this scene to the final mix version. This wasn't in the original game.
Yeah, I don't remember this at all.
This scene where him and Riku are just showing themselves being buds and hanging around.
Yeah.
Actually kind of powerful.
Yeah.
It's actually really powerful.
I feel it, man.
Yeah. I'm feeling it.
Then here's the best part, though.
I'm choking.
Here's the part where you get to feel it.
Yeah.
I remember before when I said,
I'm
like,
actually
I
trying
cried
really
when...
hard not to cry right now.
Yeah, if you remember when I said I cried when Sora turned into a Heartless, I cried when, like, the thing that happens right after this happens.
Yes.
I'm
trying really hard not to cry right now.
Yeah, during this cutscene.
Kyrie!
I remember losing
Yeah.
my shit.
Yeah,
Jump!
I do too.
Jump!
I almost am right now. Like, not even kidding.
I'll come back to you. I promise.
It's also the music.
I know you
Yeah.
will.
This is not the right music.
It's a different theme, yeah.
Simple and Clean should be playing right now.
No, they chose,
This is Sanctuary from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, they changed it. Still a great song.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a really good song.
It
It's not
works.
Simple and Clean, it's a really fucking good song, though.
But this is a good scene where Kairi is wandering Disney Island by herself, realizing that she won't probably see Sora Riku for a very, very long time.
That's harsh, man. That's also kind of like the
Yeah.
best ending though, because it's like you saved a day, and you saved your friends, but you don't get to be with them. Like that's brutal.
Yeah. All he had to do, though, was just step onto the sand.
Yeah, I had wondered that. Like they never explained it, but I wondered if there was some kind of force preventing them from jumping from one side to the other.
Yeah.
That was always my assumption when I was younger.
But now that the darkness has been sent back, all the worlds are being rebuilt. Every star in the sky is a world that was lost to darkness. So,
Kingdom Hearts.
that's the end of... Yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts, and it's a really... Like, this first game, like, it's really good. People don't give it the credit it really deserves, honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't explain everything, but explains exactly enough to get the point it's trying to make across.
I do feel they kind of dropped the ball with the subsequent games, but man, what a hell of a start.
They absolutely did. This game, honestly stands alone. And it stands alone really well. It didn't need a sequel.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I find it kind of funny of like, if you never made a sequel to this ending is so bittersweet. Like the definition of bittersweet.
It does, but it also stands on its own.
Yeah, totally. Like, I think that this could be its own thing. It would just be like, shit, man, that's real. That's too real. Growing up and losing friends.
Well, this is them realizing, well, now we're kind of alone right now. What do we do? Notice that Donald and Goofy are in their traditional outfits and not the Kingdom Hearts outfits.
Yeah.
We've got to find Riku and King Mickey.
But, where do we start looking for that there door to the light?
God damn it.
But there is a final message of hope, even in the bittersweetness.
Hey, Pluto! Where have you been?
Huh?
Where has he been?
Gosh, that's the king's seal!
Hey, have you
Yeah,
seen
he's just hanging out.
Mickey?
Last we saw, he's in fucking Traverse Town. I don't know how the fuck.
Yeah.
Guys, let's go.
See? It might be bittersweet, but they'll find their way someday.
Yeah, someday.
This is a good final shot.
It's pretty good.
It works. See? It totally works.
Yeah.
This is a good final shot to end the series on.
I don't know. I almost think it would be better without this final bit, just because this one insinuates that there will be sequels.
I think it more implies that they still have that call to adventure deep within.
More like the there will be adventures to come kind of thing.
Yeah, there are adventures to come that are unseen.
Except we've seen them all, every single.
And I wish we
one.
hadn't. And I totally wish we hadn't.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for.
But
checking
yeah,
out.
like Kingdom Hearts, it's a good game. You should play it. Not you, Sam. You already played it. But you at
Yeah.
home, you should play it.
Or if you were watching this.
Actually, no, you too, Sam. You should play it.
Okay. Or if you two were watching this like me because you had to remember what Kingdom Hearts 1 was all about, I hope it helped you out. Boy, we haven't touched even the fucking tip of the iceberg when it comes to this story.
So, Sam, I hope this makes Kingdom Hearts 1 a bit more clear in your mind, even though, honestly, this is the most straightforward of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, if I can't get this one, I'm just boned. Because Kingdom Hearts 2 is not going to help. Thanks everyone for watching, and or listening. I guess you could technically do this like a podcast kind of thing, but whatever. Thanks for checking us out. We'll see you guys next time for Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Get ready to be primed.
Whenever we decide to do that at some point.
Hopefully sooner than later, by the time this goes up.
We might end up, like, maybe not. We're not sure when we'll do it, but we might end up just kind of doing these. Hopefully quickly. Probably not.
Yeah, it just depends on how they release. We'll see.
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll see.
See you guys next time.
Take care, guys.